Hello, and welcome to Soul Aligned CEO Podcast, the show that shares the stories of entrepreneurs from all around the world who have started businesses and they are doing it soul aligned. I'm your host, Jenny Morey, and on today's episode, I would like to have a conversation about something that's really important to me. It's the concept of you are never too old to try something new. Now, many of you may or may not know how old I am, and it's not something that I'm normally talking about all the time, but I feel like it's important because part of the reason that I'm doing this podcast is not only to share information and help entrepreneurs that are looking to start a business. My purpose really is to inspire and to show people what's possible. So, with that, I am 48 years old and I'm very proud of the number of decades that I have had on this planet. It's a gift and it's a blessing. Recently, I was listening to a audiobook by Dr. Christiane Northrup, and it's a really great book, especially for women, that talks about the different stages that we go through in life. And in one of the chapters, she started talking about how women often in their 40s and 50s and beyond start to feel called to do something different, to explore a passion that maybe they haven't. And this really struck a chord with me because starting this podcast was not something that I had really planned on doing. It was an idea that has been in the back of my mind, but I never really had a big push to get it done until I had this opportunity this summer to meet all of these entrepreneurs. But with that becomes the normal doubt, fears, limiting beliefs that enter many of our minds anytime a new idea comes to fruition. And so, why I went forward with the podcast and tried to figure it all out was because it was something that I was really interested in trying. And I've gotten to a point in my life where anytime I'm a little bit nervous or maybe even a little bit scared to try something, it helps me to realize that it's probably something that I should really give it a try because there's something that's nudging me to do it and it's out of my comfort zone. So that's really the first part of this conversation is limiting beliefs, and especially limiting beliefs surrounding how old you are. That after a certain age it's too late. Like it's too late to start a business. It's too late to start a new hobby. And I really want to squash that limiting belief because you can start something new at any age. And that's why this whole process of starting the podcast has been so exciting for me because it is something completely new, completely outside of my comfort zone. And it has been just an incredible adventure. And so if you have something that you've always wanted to do, it's okay to have fears and doubts, but just know that those fears and doubts could be your kind of internal signs that are pushing you to give it a try. Which brings me to the second topic, which is a motto that I have lived by the majority of my life. It's you miss 100% of the shots that you do not take. And this was famously first said by Wayne Gretzky. And then I think other athletes in basketball have said similar things, but it's so true. If you're standing at the half court line with the puck or with the basketball, and you're just standing there looking at the goal, looking at the basketball hoop, it isn't going to magically get in there. you have to physically take action and take the shot. And that's the really scary part with trying anything new, is not knowing, once you take the shot, how is it going to go? Is it going to hit off the pole or the backboard? Is it going to completely miss? Are you going to make a fool of yourself? But it's something that has always resonated with me, and I have lived the majority of my life as fearlessly as possible, but really in the back of my mind, always thinking about, I'm going to miss the shot for sure if I never take it. And if I stand there and kind of take my best shot, who knows, you might just make it. And so that's really kind of a philosophical statement that I live by every day. And so when I got the nudge to do this podcast, I kind of let go of all those limiting beliefs and knew that I had to just dive in and take the shot. And who knows where it was going to lead me. And so, with that, the other important thing is to have fun. I feel like a lot of times, anytime we're pursuing something new, it's really easy to get caught up in it and all the details and wanting it to be perfect and just on and on and on. And you forget to really enjoy the moment and have fun. And so, that's been something that I've been really mindful of throughout this whole process of setting up and starting this podcast. Is I really want to have fun with it, or it's not going to be something that I want to get out of bed and do. And the reason that I set this podcast up to be an interview style is it's really invigorating and exciting for me to meet new people and to learn about their stories and have an opportunity to share those stories with a potentially larger audience. And so when you're thinking about wanting to try something, make sure that it's going to be something that you're going to have fun doing and that it's going to be exciting, so you let go of those limiting beliefs, you get yourself motivated to take the shot and then have fun with it. Because then when you have fun with it, it's okay if it misses, if you don't make the first basket. And that's really been the journey, with this whole podcast for the last 2 months now. And, I don't know where this is going to go or what it's going to grow into, but I'm having fun with it every single week with every single person that I'm meeting and learning about their business and really just diving into their story and finding out, what is the purpose and what is the passion and how can I translate that into a podcast episode. And so the last thing that I do want to talk about that's really important, anytime you're thinking about wanting to try something new, is to listen to those nudges. You get that gut feeling no matter what you believe in, whether you're religious, spiritual, or not, you cannot deny that there's often something that is guiding you, and you get that inner knowing, like you need to jump on this opportunity. You need to try out this new workout class. You need to take a trip and go somewhere. Oftentimes when those ideas or nudges, I like to call them, come into you from seemingly nowhere, there's really a reason. And it's oftentimes, whether it's your own intuition, something greater than us speaking to us, but it's often very purposeful. And if I've learned anything, especially the last 5 years, it's not to ignore those nudges. So if you're feeling inspired to try something or to go somewhere, really, sit with it and make sure that it feels right, but then you don't need to necessarily hesitate. And so that's one of the main reasons when I got this nudge to for sure do the podcast, I just went in and decided I'm going to just dive in and figure it all out. And whatever happens is going to happen. But I'm going to take the shot and see where it leads me. So, really, the purpose of today's episode, I wanted to keep it short and sweet, but I wanted to just address this notion that you can be too old to start something new. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You can start something new at any age simply by having the idea and letting go of those limiting beliefs and fears that hold you back, getting up to that half court line and just getting ready to have a great time and have fun and take the shot. Because if you take it, you never know what's going to happen. So, the episodes that are coming up on Soul Aligned CEO, I'm so excited because they are going to feature more entrepreneurs from all over the world that are in various types of businesses. We have healers and artists, and I'm just so excited to share their stories. And I hope that you will join us and maybe even get inspired too. Thank you, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.